This is Shimon the Digger, and you are listening to the P.W.A. Show.
I'm not your typical American. I'm not your typical...
Now, I cannot believe, you've never seen Spinal Tap. That's... Dude, I cannot believe you've never seen Hoosiers before. What are some movies, what are some movies you have not seen? Have you seen Citizen Kane? No, you have not.
No.
Have you seen Casablanca?
I actually saw that back in May or earlier this year. I saw Casablanca.
True that I've never seen either of those movies.
That's awesome, dude.
But I just wanted to see like those.
No, there's a lot of 80s movies I have not seen for sure.
You've seen Top Gun though, right?
I've seen Top Gun numerous times. I've seen
Back to the Future.
I've seen Back to the Future. I've seen all the Back to the Futures.
Okay.
I've seen Johnny Five is Alive.
Yeah, that was one of the first things we talked about ever on our second episode or something.
Was it? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm just curious what movies you haven't seen now because Hoosiers is a big movie.
No, it is. It is.
You've seen Raging Bull, right?
I've seen Raging Bull.
You've seen Field of Dreams.
Oh, of course, numerous times. Love that movie.
Okay.
There are. It's funny because when we listen to Film Vault, it was obviously a film podcast, talk about films, and Anderson's always given Brian a hard time about not seeing films, but I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of films I have not seen.
All right.
Hoosiers was one of them. I've seen it now.
Let's get into Hoosiers.
Well,
then.
Hoosiers, when you're a kid, in the 80s, whatever, like this is like a huge film. Everybody loves it, especially if you played basketball or whatever. Like even if you didn't play basketball, you saw this film, you loved this film and stuff. For whatever reason, I just never saw this film. So I noticed maybe a couple months ago, it was on Netflix. So I was like, I put it in the queue, so I'm gonna watch it. And then the other night, I noticed it was supposed to go off October 1st. I was like, all right, I better watch it. So last weekend I watched it, and man, I'm not saying it was bad because it was not bad, but it was just, I don't know if it because it's been worked up for the past 25 years or whatever. I don't know. For one, the soundtrack was so 80s, and it was supposed to have taken place in 1951. Dave,
I mean, that's like saying
it's a period piece supposed to take place in 1951. It's got like these like 1980s keyboard.
But you're not supposed to hear the music. Like
Flock of Seagulls might have been playing.
You're not hearing the music when it's just for your atmosphere. Like when you watch Batman's not hearing that music.
The music is awesome though. But yeah, the soundtrack for the score for Batman is totally adds to it for sure.
Creates a mood. Talk about the movie, not the soundtrack, man.
I mean, I appreciate everything about it. I appreciate the basketball team. I appreciate the players. I appreciate the actors. The one thing that got me though was like all these years they made it out to. I told you that. I always forget his name. The guy who died a couple years ago. The guy, the drunk in the movie.
Oh, Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. Through all these whole years, they made Dennis Hopper out like he was like this, second in command in this movie. Like he was like second build in this movie.
Yeah,
he was in this movie he probably didn't even have 6 minutes screen time in this whole movie.
You know how billing works, though. It's not your status in the
well,
movie.
Yeah, I understand that, and plus, he's a bigger star than he was back then. Also, so now they just say, "Hey, this stars Dennis Hopper."
Exactly, yeah.
Whatever. But I understand that. But they make it every time you see a preview for this, he's in it. So I thought, like, oh wow, this guy's.
But he's got one of the best scenes in the movie,
which is
the scene where he comes in
drunk.
Yeah.
No, okay.
It's a good scene, right?
I mean, it was good. I don't know. It was an all right movie, man.
This is my top sports movie.
That's fine.
Okay, what's your favorite sports movie of all time?
I don't know. We talked about it today.
Come on, you got to put up or shut up.
Sports movie, man.
Yeah, sports movie. Movies about sports like basketball, football.
Give me some.
Hockey.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Yeah, boy.